Hi everyone, welcome to the lecture number 6 of unit number 5 partial differential equation. In this lecture we are going to start the next content of the unit number 5, that is partial differential equation of order 1. Okay, and there are two types of these equations. They can be linear or non-linear. Fine. Now so far we have formed the partial differential equation from the solutions given. Now here in this topic, or after in this method, we are going to obtain solutions of partial differential equations. Means partial differential equation will be given to us and we are going to obtain their general solutions. Fine. So one must know what do we mean by partial differential equation of order 1, linear, non-linear things. Then there are various methods to obtain the solution. So all the things theory part we are going to discuss in this particular lecture. Examples will start in coming lecture. Okay. So very first we are going to deal with the linear partial differential equation of order 1. So in this linear partial differential equations of order 1, we are going to solve the one special type of LD of order 1. They are called as Lagrange's equations. A partial differential equation of order 1 of the form, okay, it is linear, also cosilinear it is called as, okay, but we are not going in detail of that cosilinear and linear things. It is a linear partial differential equation of order 1 of the form capital P small p plus capital Q into small q equal to capital R. So you can read it as PP plus QQ equal to R. Okay, one P is capital, one P is small, like that, where capital PQR are the functions of x, y, z, and small p and q are having values del z by del x and del z by del y. These values we have already discussed. It's called a Lagrange's equation, and we are going to solve this type of linear partial differential equation of order 1 in this particular unit. They are called as Lagrange. The equation of the form is called as Lagrange's equations. Any equation, if you write any partial differential equation of order 1, if it is possible to write in this form, then that partial differential equation will be called as Lagrange's equations. One example of such a differential equation I have written: xy into p plus yz into q equal to e to the power xy. So we are having small p and small q in two terms. In the coefficient of p we are having function of x, y, z. This x into y is your capital P. The coefficient of q is your capital Q, and equal to the right hand side is your R, right? So they are the functions of x, y, z. So such type of differential equations are called as Lagrange's equation. Now we are going to discuss after this the method of solving this type of partial differential equations. That method is Lagrange's method to solve partial differential equation of the type PP plus QQ equal to R. So let us go through the method. These are the steps that I have written. Okay. Step number 1, your task is first you need to write the given partial differential equation in the form PP plus QQ equal to R. Okay. So unless and until you have your differential equation in the form PP plus QQ equal to R, you cannot identify the values of capital P, capital Q and capital R. That values we need for the calculation. So after writing the given differential equation in this form, we'll get the values of capital P, capital Q, capital R. Okay. Now using these values, we are going to write auxiliary equations of equation 1. So whatever equation 1 is your given differential equation, their auxiliary equations are defined as dx by capital P equal to dy by capital Q equal to dz by capital R. These are the three ratios. Okay, dx by capital P, dy by capital Q, dz by capital R. This equation also called as symmetrical simultaneous differential equation. Okay. So once we write the given differential equation in this form, you write the auxiliary equations from that. Okay. For that you need the values of PQR. That values you need to place in the denominator of dx, dy, dz respectively. Okay. And you'll get the three equal ratios there. Step number 3. What is next thing? Solve the auxiliary equations. Okay, solve these auxiliary equations. Now for solving these auxiliary equation, or you can say symmetrical simultaneous differential equations, we are having two methods. Okay, one is called as method of grouping and another is called as method of multipliers. So after using that methods, we can determine the two relations which will be the solution of this differential equation. Okay, and that solutions will give us the final general solution of the given partial differential equation. Now I am not discussing. I am not going to discuss right now the methods of obtaining solution of these differential equations. Before that, we are going to talk about the general solution of these type of differential equations. So how the general solution of Lagrange's equations will look like. So let the two independent solutions of equation 1. So whatever, so two independent solutions we are going to obtain after solving these auxiliary equations, they will be of this form: u of x comma y comma z equal to c1, v of x comma y comma z equal to c2. So they will be functions of x, y, z, and they will be equal to some arbitrary constant c1 and c2. So and they will be independent. Very importantly, means one solution will not depend on other, right? Fine. After getting these two u and v, the general solution of the equation 1 will be of this type: f of u comma v equal to 0, where f is arbitrary function. So this type of thing we have done already in formation of differential equation part. There we have this type of arbitrary function in front of us, and from that we have obtained the partial differential equation. Here the reverse case we are doing. We are given the partial differential equation of order 1 and its solution in this form: f of u comma v equal to 0 we are going to obtain is the required solution. Whatever u and v you will get, simply you need to substitute the values of u and v here. Okay, that will be your final solution. And this is the general solution. The general solution of the Lagrange's equation is of this type, which is equivalent to, you can write, either you can write in this form or you can write that in this form also: u as a function of v or v as a function of u. Fine. Now we are going to discuss the method for solving auxiliary equations. So how to solve after this step. Okay, so far we have discussed how to get the auxiliary equation. Now after this, how to obtain the two independent relations u and v, that we are going to discuss. So here p, q are the functions of x, y, z. We have two methods to obtain two independent relations. Okay, we can use any one, whichever is applicable, that method we apply. Method number 1 is called as method of grouping or combinations. Either you can say method of grouping or method of combinations. So how this method works to get the solution. So the details I have written. If we can observe that z is missing from the first group, okay, so there is a group of the three ratios we are having, equal ratios. Out of that, if you make the group of first two ratios, and if you can see there, if the z is missing, there is no term of z available in this first group, or may be cancelled from this equation. Means if it is possible to cancel out the terms of z from the first group, if that is the situation there, then it becomes a differential equation in x and y, right? So we'll have this: if z is missing in this group, or z can be cancelled out from by doing cross multiplication from this group, then it will become a differential equation in x and y only. Okay, on integration, this will give one relation of the type u of x comma y comma z equal to c1, right? Means there are two independent relations we need to obtain. Out of that, one independent relation can be obtained by simply integrating this differential equation. Okay, just write a variable separable form, take the terms of x on one side, terms of y on one side, because z is missing out there, right? And by integrating, you can determine the one relation out of two of the solution. Okay, so this is how you can obtain by combination of two ratios. Means we are combining two ratios. Okay, three ratios are equal. Out of that, two we are considering. Means we are making a group of two out of three. Fine. And such a group will give us one relation of the solution. Then after that, then consider another group if available. Now again you need to check, one group we have formed of first two, right? So how many left there? The group of second and third, and the group of first and third. So total three groups are available there, right? Out of that, one we have taken. So after that, we need to check whether there is another group available which will give us the variable separable form, like that. Means if we consider the group of last two, where dy and dz we are having, so in this group x must be missing, right? Or x can be cancelled out. Okay, this situation has to be there, then only this group will give us the another relation, and our task is to find two independent relations, right? And once we get, if such a situation is there, second group is available, then we'll get the second relation of the solution. Means if there are two groups available in which the third variable is missing, then definitely two such a groups will give us the two independent relation of the solution, and that will give us the both final general solution by method of grouping. And if there is no such a group available, okay, in that case we apply method number 2. Fine. And what is method number 2? If the method of grouping fails, if method of grouping is not applicable, then we use method number 2 called as method of multipliers. Now what this method tells, in this method we select one or two sets of multipliers depending upon the requirement. Okay, set of multipliers we are selecting here, and this choice is totally ours. We need to choose them. Okay, L comma M comma N, not necessarily constants. It is not that they will be constant, they may be in terms of x, y, z also. Fine. To find a fourth ratio, now here I have written one or two sets of multipliers. It means maximum two relations we have to obtain. That either one we need to select or two we need to select. Okay, if you want to find if there is no grouping method possible, so two set of multipliers we need to select. If one relation we have obtained using grouping, second grouping is not possible, in that case only one set of multipliers we need to calculate. Okay, like that. Now after choosing these multipliers L comma M comma N, not necessarily constants, to find a fourth ratio, right? Why we choose this element? To find a fourth ratio by which we come to solutions. Means after choosing the element, we determine another ratio. Three ratios already available, we determine the fourth one. How we are obtaining that? If we have these are the three ratios, then we choose elements such that each of these ratios, each ratio I have written, means all these three ratios equal to the fourth ratio. This is the fourth ratio, new ratio. We multiply first ratio in the numerator by L, second ratio by M, third ratio by N, and we add them, right? L dx plus M dy plus N dz in the numerator. Same thing we do in denominator, LP plus MQ plus NR. This element we have to guess. And what kind of element we have to guess? Where LP plus MQ plus NR equal to 0. This is very important condition. Means whatever element you are selecting, after selection of that element, we must get here in the denominator the value of LP plus MQ plus NR as 0, and that only gives us the differential equation L dx plus M dy plus N dz equal to 0, because on this side we are having ratios, right? These ratios, and here we got 0. If you cross multiply, we'll get the differential equation L dx plus M dy plus N dz equal to 0. On integrating, this may be in the terms of variable several form, or sometimes some adjustment we do, and definitely it will be integrable. On integrating this equation, we get one relation of the solution. So there are two independent relations we've determined. Out of that, one independent relation can be obtained by such a selection of element. Okay, now a few important notes regarding these multipliers I'm going to discuss. First one, for one set of multipliers only one relation we get. Okay, for one such a set of multipliers element we get one relation out of the solution. Second, for obtaining second relation using method 2, if you want to obtain second relation also using the same method, we need to choose another set of multipliers which is independent to the first set, right? This is very important. If you want to determine second relation also using the same method, then we need to select another set of multipliers which will be independent to set 1 to get independent relations. U of xyz equal to c1 and v of xyz equal to c2. Then only you will get two independent relation if you select a two independent set of multipliers. For example, if you select first set of multiplier as 1, 2, 3, you should not select the multiple of this. Okay, if you select the multiple of this, you will get again the same solution. Means you will not get independent relation. Okay, that is what the meaning of independent selection of independent multiplier is. Now the third note, we may get u and v, means these relations, both by single method, or sometimes we obtain u and v by using both methods. Means there are some problems in which you can get the two relations by using one method only, like method of grouping only will give us both relations. Sometimes both relations we have to obtain using by method of multipliers. Sometimes we get one relation using grouping method and one relation using multiplier method. Like that, there may be many different situations. Okay, our task is to obtain two independent relations and two methods we are having. You need to decide which one is applicable. Accordingly, you obtain the solution. So hope you understood this discussion. In coming lecture, we are going to start solving problems on Lagrange's equation using Lagrange's method. Okay. Again, all this theory, whatever I have written, you try to write in notebook properly. Okay. Definitely, it will help you while doing the calculation in example. So in coming lecture, we are going to start with the examples on Lagrange's equation, solving examples on of first order first order partial differential equation, that is of the type PP plus QQ equal to R. Fine. So hope you understood this. Thank you.